welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Week 11 running back rankings we're going over today. This is Jonathan here with you. If you don't already subscribe, go subscribe real quick, hit that button, give us a like, and let's just jump right into it. Number one, we're going to start with Austin Ekeler this week, and he's going to be at Green Bay, who's been really struggling defensively and against running backs. Ekeler's been getting better and better since he's gotten back from his injuries. This is a great matchup for him, and I do expect a lot of points from him, as should anybody else. So he's going to be our solid number one, and then that brings me to number two. Number two, I usually have him up there at number one. We all know who he is. However, this week he's going up against a very good Tampa Bay defense. They will be home, but Tampa Bay, they have the second best defense against running backs. So McCaffrey there at number two, he's always going to be solid. He actually lost his streak, his anytime scoring streak. He had 17 games in a row, and he tied for the most ever. So if he would have gone one more game, he would have got that 18 and set the record. But looks like he's going to have to restart, and it's going to be a good week against Tampa Bay. Number three, Josh Jacobs at Miami. This is going to be another good matchup. Miami, they're decent defense against running backs, but as I've said before, and I'll keep saying, Miami, they like to play a fast-paced offense, which means they're going to be punting the ball quicker, scoring sooner, and getting the ball to Vegas just as fast. So Josh Jacobs is who they like to rely on, and that's who they're going to be going to in this struggling Las Vegas team. So Jacobs is an easy number three. Number four, Travis Etienne. Been playing phenomenal this year. He's going to be at home against Tennessee. Tennessee's a very mid defense. They're not bad, not that good. So expect Etienne definitely to get a lot of points regardless of how Trevor Lawrence plays. Number five, Breece Hall. He's going to be at Buffalo this week, and I like this matchup. Breece Hall is one of those guys like Etienne who they rely on him. The Jets really rely on him. They have some decent good receivers, but with Wilson throwing the ball, it's been Breece Hall's team there. So easy number five, Breece Hall at Buffalo. Number six, we're going to be putting Raheem Mostert there versus Las Vegas. Going to be at home against Las Vegas, struggling team, and Mostert does what he does. He was listed as questionable just because he didn't practice today on Monday. Again, we do record on Mondays, but it shouldn't be a concern. I think they wanted to call it more of a Veterans Day break for him. So no worries there. He's going to be up there at number six. He has a great matchup, so look for him to get a lot of points. Number seven, Tony Pollard, is going to be at Carolina. Okay, in Carolina, they do not have the best run defense. It's going to be a good week for Pollard, definitely. And so he's going to be up there at number seven. Number eight, Joe Mixon at Baltimore. Joe Mixon's getting more and more involved in this Bengals offense as they are getting better and better throughout the year. It's going to be a tough rivalry game between the two, and I expect a lot of running, and that includes Mixon. Mixon's going to be highly involved this week, so look for him at number 8. Number 9, Derrick Henry at Jacksonville. This is a good matchup as well. Derrick Henry, he's a big part of that offense. He's not putting up quite the numbers that he usually does, but I don't care. At the end of the day, he is King Henry, and look for him to stiff arm some Jacksonville players into the stands. Number 10, Aaron Jones at home against the Chargers. This is one of those matchups that you can't afford to not have Aaron Jones up there high on the list, especially with the Green Bay's offense right now. They're not really finding Christian Watson or finding any of these receivers a whole lot, and it's been a lot of Aaron Jones. And it's going to continue that way as the Chargers' defense is not very good, and look for him to get a lot of points there at number 10. Number 11, we're going to go to Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what? Actually, we're going to do 11 and 12 together, okay? 11 and 12 is Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They're at home against Chicago, a very struggling defense. And Gibbs, we've seen what he can do. While Montgomery is gone, he's been putting up great numbers. And Gibbs is very elusive. He knows how to find spaces and get in the open. And Montgomery, he's just as good. He's a little more of the power runner than Gibbs. Gibbs is definitely faster. But it's going to be very interesting to see. I think they're going to split carries pretty evenly. However, Gibbs, while he was gone, really proved what he could do. So Detroit's definitely going to want to be getting Gibbs the ball. So if I had to choose one, I would choose Gibbs. But At the same time, they're going to be splitting carries. David Montgomery's a great running back, so they're both going to be up there at 11 and 12. Number 13, we're going to Saquon Barkley at Washington. And, this offense, it stalled a little bit now with their injuries at quarterback. They got DeVito in there. He started his first game last week, and we all saw how that went. I didn't even watch the ending of the game. I don't know if it ended up being 49-10 or 56-10, whatever it was. Dallas destroyed them. And at the end of the day, Barkley's a huge part of that offense, and they're going to start using him more as they need to. Number 14, I'm going to Brian Robinson at home against the Giants. It's a good matchup for him. I know Brian Robinson, he started off very well this season, and then he dropped off. But this is going to be one of those games he comes back, puts up 15, 20 points easily against the Giants, who are struggling a lot. So look for Brian Robinson to get some points here this week. Number 15, I'm going to Rachaad White. He's been playing phenomenal. However, this week he's going to be at San Francisco, who's a very good defense. So I think the Bucs are really going to struggle on offense. I don't see a lot happening, but Rachaad White will still be a part of it, so he's going to be up there at number 15. Which takes me to number 16, DeAndre Swift at Kansas City. DeAndre Swift, he's usually a little bit higher. However, Kansas City has a good defense, and they're going to be in Kansas City. They just came off a bye, Philadelphia did, and so I don't see Swift having one of his best performances this year, but he's still going to get solid points. So he's going to go there at number 16. Number 17, this one is going to be tough. Again, I want you guys to know I'm recording this on Monday, so I only have the injury reports from today on Monday. So you're going to have to watch this as it plays out. But Alexander Mattison, I'm going to put him at 17. However, he's most likely not going to be playing this week because he's in a concussion protocol. Now, what that means is he can come out of concussion protocol cleared, and he can easily play this week. But on the other hand, if you're in the concussion protocol, something most likely happened, and they're most likely going to sit him out a week or two. So we're going to have to keep a tight eye on that throughout the week. So look for Alexander Mattison. Number 18, Jerome Ford at home against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense, they're not bad, but they're not great. They're going to be at Cleveland, so it's going to be a tough one for them, I believe. And Jerome Ford, he's getting a lot of carries, and he's like a mini Nick Chubb is the way I see him. I think he has a lot of power behind him, and the Browns like to use him more than Kareem Hunt. And although Kareem Hunt has found the end zone the past 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to be a Jerome Ford game, I believe. He's going to put up 100 rushing yards, and it's going to be a good game for him. Number 19, Kenneth Walker. He's going to be at the LA Rams. This is a tough matchup for him. Walker is usually in the top 10, sometimes the top 5. However, he had a bad week last week, and at the Rams, I don't see Walker having a great game. He might do good. I'm not saying he won't, but I think he's going to be right there at 19 in the mix with some of these other guys. Number 20, James Cook at home against the Jets. That's a good matchup for him. Cook, he's been very inconsistent this year. He's put up numbers. He's put up nothing. He's really inconsistent, just like the Bills a little bit. So against the Jets, though, it's a good matchup for him. So look for him to definitely get 10, 12 points there at number 20. Number 21, Javonte Williams at home against Minnesota. Minnesota, they're a good defense. Javonte Williams, though, is a big part of the Broncos' offense, and they love to use him. He's a talented running back, and he's going to get his carries and his touches. So Javonte Williams, easy, number 21. Number 22, Isaiah Pacheco. Kind of like Kenneth Walker this week. He's going to be at home against Philadelphia, who is now the number 1 defense against running backs in fantasy. So with the way the Kansas City offense has been going, Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, it hasn't been great this year. They're not putting up crazy numbers, and I don't see Pacheco having a crazy game this week at home against Philadelphia. So put him there at number 22 to get you some points, but he's not going to be having an extravagant day today, or this week, I should say. Number 23, Kareem Hunt at home against Pittsburgh. As I talked about Ford, Hunt, he's been putting in a lot of work. He's getting a lot of reps alongside Ford. Ford's getting a little bit more, but Kareem Hunt gets a lot of the impactful ones. He gets those wild cat plays that are on the end zone, on the goal line, He gets a lot of goal line touches, red zone touches, probably more than Ford, to be honest with you. So Kareem Hunt is more of like a hit or miss. He might get in the end zone, get 10, 12, 15 points, or he might not get in the end zone, and he catches the ball too, and so he may get you, 8 to 10 points without a touchdown, but it's still solid number 23. Number 24, Gus Edwards. All right, now when I talk about Gus Edwards, I'm putting him there at number 24 because they're going against Cincinnati, who's a very mid defense, and we've seen what the Baltimore offense can do, and they can get anybody involved, whether it's Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. That's the name I was looking for, Keaton Mitchell. But Gus Edwards, at the end of the day, he's getting a majority of those carries. He's getting a lot of the impactful carries. I know Justice Hill had a game a couple weeks ago. He had some impactful carries. And then Keaton Mitchell, obviously, last week, he put up some numbers. But this is going to be a Gus Edwards week. He's leading the tribe in that trifecta running back situation. So Gus Edwards against Cincinnati, I think it's going to be a lot of running in that game, and Edwards is going to be a part of it. And lastly, our Mr. number 25, Chuba Hubbard. He's going to be at home against Dallas. Dallas is a very good team. Chuba Hubbard, he's a big part of this Carolina offense. He kind of took over that role from Miles Sanders, as Miles Sanders was the veteran starting the season, and Hubbard's a little bit younger, and it's looking like Hubbard's starting to take over the usage and the carries there, so I definitely think he has a good shot at getting a good amount of points this week, so I'm going to have to put Chuba Hubbard up there at number 25. And that's going to do it for our Week 11 running back rankings. I hope you guys liked what I had to say. If you didn't, or even if you did, you agree, strongly agreed, strongly disagree, I want to hear it. Go comment. Let us know what you think. And other than that, you have a great fantasy weekend.